Herzlich willkommen auch von meiner Seite. Ich freue mich sehr, dass ich diesen Themenblock moderieren kann. Hintergrund ist der, dass letzten Endes im Rahmen der G20-Präsidentschaft die Idee der Bundesregierung da war, können wir uns nicht ein bisschen mehr mit auseinandersetzen, wie eigentlich in China bezahlt wird. Von daher in dem ersten Block, den Sie gleich sehen werden, ist eine gemeinsame Studie zwischen Bundesbank und einer ganzen Reihe an Partnern, unter anderem eben auch das House of Finance, meine Person. Und ich hatte mich dann im Rahmen dieses Projekts immer damit auseinandersetzen wollen, wie funktioniert das mit dem Bezahlen in China eigentlich genau. Und man kann das sicherlich nachlesen, man kann sich das auch vorstellen. Aber ich hatte einen Kurs mit recht internationaler Besetzung, ungefähr 30 Studenten. Und bin ich auf 3 Chinesen in dem Kurs zugegangen und habe die mal gefragt, ob sie mir mal zeigen könnten, wie sie denn in China bezahlen. Und das haben sie auch gerne gemacht, aber sie haben sich eigentlich aus 2 Gründen gewundert. Das erste ist vielleicht kulturell. Warum fragt ein Professor einen Studenten irgendetwas, was jetzt nicht mit Notengebung und Examen und Prüfungssituationen zu tun hat? Also das war die erste Sache. Und die zweite Sache war die, dass sie gedacht haben, warum fragt er etwas so Banales? Und als sie mir das dann am nächsten Morgen gezeigt haben, da ist mir klar geworden, also eigentlich habe ich gefragt, wie funktioniert denn Zähneputzen? Und von daher war die Idee, dass wir die eine Chinesin, Frau Shunyao, bitten, einfach mal aufzunehmen in China, wie funktionieren denn diese Zahlungsverfahren. Das wird der zweite Block sein. Also was Sie da sehen werden, ist eine Präsentation, auch in Englisch, wo sie nach China gefahren ist und alle möglichen Situationen aufgenommen hat, wie sie denn eigentlich bezahlt.
My name is Shunyao. I'm now a PhD student at Goethe in Frankfurt, and now as a complement of the presentation given by Lucas, I will focus on the Chinese side and give you a presentation about mobile payment in China, prepared by me and Professor Skiera. To give you an overview of the presentation, I will first briefly introduce the general pattern of mobile payment in China and introduce to you again the 2 major payment providers, Alipay and WeChat Pay. And then coming to the major part of this presentation, I will present you 3 different kinds of payment offerings for 3 different kinds of retailers. This part will include some videos and a small but detailed example to help you understand better how this payment function is exactly working. And at the last part, I will end with a video about the mobile payment ecosystem. So speaking of the mobile payment, as most of you probably already know, it is now developing quite rapidly in China. So until the middle of last year, there are already 500 million mobile payment users in China. So almost the population of whole European Union, right? But how does this number translate back into the Chinese population? Well, it means that 36%, so almost 40% of the people in China are using mobile payment, and 79% of them are using it every day. If we take a look at the supply side from this graph of the mobile payment market share, we can see that Alipay and WeChat Pay together occupy 95% of the market in terms of transaction volume. So the similarity between these 2 payment providers is that they provide almost identical payment functions that you can use to both pay for online and offline shopping. Well, the major differences between them is that WeChat Pay, it is a payment function incorporated in WeChat app, which is quite like WhatsApp. It is an instant messaging app, already acquiring 900 million monthly active users. Well, on the other hand, Alipay, since the very first day it was born, it was used for payment. It is now an independent payment app, which provides not only payment functions, but also some other related functions. For example, you can use it to check the delivery information of your package, or you can use it to search for the nearest restaurant, or you can use it to buy a financial product. So in this sense, it is developing into a payment ecosystem that each different functions inside this system depend on and support each other to operate more efficiently. So now comes the major part of the presentation. One of the reasons that mobile payment is so popular and common in China is that the different kinds of payment offerings or payment functions provided by the payment providers can cover almost all payment scenarios. So we roughly divide them into 3 kinds of payment offerings. The first kind of the payment offerings is for those retailers equipped with scanner. And the second type is for those retailers without scanner. And the third part is for those retailers even without a cashier. Before we take a closer look at these 3 different types of payment offerings, which could seem a little bit complicated, please remember that the most essential part is about a QR code that contains the payment information. And the differences among them only lies in who is generating the QR code and who of the consumer or the retailer is scanning the QR code. So let's take a closer look at the first type of the payment offering. It's for those retailers with scanner. So it should be quite identical to most most retailers here in Germany. So usually it's the cashier initiates the payment by entering the payment amount in the terminal, and then also the cashier uses the scanner to scan the QR code generated by the customer in the customer's mobile payment app. So here are 3 video examples to help you better understand it. The first scenario is at McDonald's. So we can see that there's a scanner on the hand of the cashier. And what should be playing is that he's just using the scanner to scan the QR code, which is on the customer's mobile phone. The second scenario is at a supermarket. So quite similarly, the cashier uses the scanner to scan the QR code, and the transaction is automatically completed. And the third scenario is at bakery. So the little small white box here is also a scanner. Customer just need to put their mobile phone on top of it, and it's completed. So the second type of the payment offering is for those retailers without a scanner. So it's more flexible. Either the customer or the cashier can enter the payment amount, and then it will be the customer who scans the QR code of the retailer. Here are also 3 video examples. The first one is still at a restaurant. Now the cashier is entering the payment amount. A QR code is generated on the POS machine. Then the customer just needs to scan it and complete the payment by entering the password. So that's completed, and the receipt is also being printed out. And a second scenario is at a snack store. It's like a bistro here in Germany. So similarly, the customer scans the QR code and enters the payment amount and completes the payment by using her fingerprint. And the third scenario is at a delivery stop. We were trying to send a gift to our friend in another city, so we need to pay the delivery fee. You can see the delivery man is generating QR code in his own phone. The customer scans it and completes the payment in a similar way. And the third type of the payment offering is for those retailers even without a cashier. So the payment amount in this kind of retailers are generally standardized, so the retailers can preset the payment amount in the system, and then the customer can scan the QR code and proceed automatically. The first scenario is still at a restaurant. There's a QR code on the table. The customer scans it, and then he can reveal the bill of the meal and check it and proceed the payment. So the second scenario is we're trying to buy a ticket to get access into a park. So you just need to scan the QR code on the poster and choose the park, choose the time period, and the payment is completed. So the third scenario is at top of a mountain. You can see here is a telescope and also a QR code on it. So we just need to scan the QR code and choose the amount of time we want to use it. And then we can just enjoy the view. So, if you feel the above examples are still a little bit too quick for you, here is another payment flow example provided by Alipay for those retailers with scanner. I'll briefly walk you through this. So imagine there's a customer checking out at the cashier desk. So she would just need to show the QR code on his mobile payment app to the cashier. And then the cashier used the scanner to scan this QR code. So the payment terminal will send a transaction request to the Alipay. And then Alipay proceeds this transaction request instantly and then send back the payment result to both the customer's app and also to provide the retailer's terminal. Here's also a video to illustrate this process. So the cashier is scanning the product and place the order in the terminal. At the same time, the customer prepares the QR code on his Alipay app and shows it to the cashier. The cashier scans it, and instantly the result is returned on the app of the customer's phone and also the terminal of the retailer. And also a receipt is being printed out, so the transaction is completed. So in the very end of this presentation, it's a video about a payment ecosystem, which probably some of you have heard before. So how did I do this? I found this video on Youku, which is quite like YouTube. It's the largest online video website of China. So essentially, this video is about to promote a city of China. It's about how smart a city can be now. So I just cut it and keep those parts that is mobile payment relevant. I also include some materials from other videos to extend the story. Then I just change the framing, do some translation, and ask my friends to record this English version for you. So let's take a look at it.
I moved into a new city after graduation. The city is new to me, but life is easy. With my payment provider, I can pay with my phone almost everywhere. Based on my transaction history, the payment provider gives me a credit score. A high credit score exempts me from rental deposit. Also allows me to borrow umbrella without guarantee money. And works instantly as credit card whenever I need. What's more, the payment provider also helps me make an appointment with a doctor, pay the electric bill and social insurance automatically. At the end of the day, the payment provider helps me quickly settle down in this new city.
I own this 50-year-old family restaurant. Recently, I created a social account for my restaurant in my payment provider's website to interact with my customers. Based on this account, customers can order, pay, and review dishes with their phone. By integrating all these information, the payment provider directly tracks and even predicts which dishes sell the best. It also helps us understand individual preferences through their reviews. So I can improve my dishes and services to retain customers. I'm the founder of an internet startup. 2 years ago, our payment provider granted us with our first startup loan. We designed an app that provides ticket booking services. Our payment provider enables our products from different suppliers to be paid in one click. It also shares users' characteristics in their accounts to help us better understand our customers. I have been a traffic police for 10 years in one of the most congested cities in China. Recently, this congestion is greatly alleviated by bike sharing and car sharing. Some mobile payment providers make these sharing activities simple and fast by integrating payment, map, and messaging. These payment apps can also be used to quickly pay for the public transportation such as highway, subway, and bus.
The payment providers connect and benefit the consumer, the retailer, and the city.
So this is what is happening in China right now. I hope this video helps you understand what a payment ecosystem is and also help you get a better sense of what a payment provider can do to provide more than just payment functions. So this is all for our presentation today. I thank you very much for your attention and your interest in this topic, and I also hope our presentation helps you to understand the mobile payment in China better. Thank you very much.